Hello and a very warm welcome viewers. You're watching the brand new edition of India Fights Back with your host Kriti Mishra. As the second wave of COVID-19 in the country continues to slow down, several states have started easing the strict restrictions which were imposed to check the spread of the infection. Indians face the dilemma of resuming activities safely as restrictions ease in several parts of the country. But pictures of crowds at shopping malls raise concerns that the same mistakes will be made again. Roads leading to Himachal Pradesh saw congestions, bringing traffic to a standstill on Sunday as tourists from the neighbouring states of Haryana, Punjab, Chandigarh, Delhi and Uttarakhand made a beeline. This came after the Himachal Pradesh government's announcement that RT-PCR negative tests are no longer required to enter the state. As the cases dwindle and as the states unlock, how do we protect ourselves? Let's find out from our eminent guests on the panel. Joining us today on the program, Dr. Naveed Vig, HOD Medicine and Chairman of COVID Task Force, AIIMS, and Dr. Sunila Garg, Director Professor and Head Community Medicine, Maulana Azad Medical College. Welcome to Sunset TV, both of you. All right, Dr. Garg, coming to you first. As states are beginning to unlock the localized lockdowns, now what is your biggest worry?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. And your question is very, very apt. That as the states are unlocking down, we do have to remember that basically that we still have the virus has not gone out of our lives. We still have 5 states which have got positivity rate of about more than 10%. And as you rightly pointed out, that on the weekends we could see lot of rush, which was there on way to Himachal Pradesh. Also, the similar, findings were there and scenes were there when people were going to Lonavala and all that side from the Mumbai side also. So one thing which we have to remember is that we almost have 2.9 crore cases, out of which almost 2.75 crore cases they recovered. But we do have to remember that when we are unlocking, we have to unlock with great responsibility. We do have to see that we have got masking, we have got social distancing, and another weapon in our hand is vaccination. Till now we have vaccinated about 26 crore individuals, which is not even about it's just about 4% of our population. So I think when we are unlocking, there are a lot of things to be taken into consideration. First, the people should be empowered to know the importance of that. Right now, their important vaccination or social vaccination is their mask. The second part is that they have to observe 2 gaz ki duri or distancing. And third is, if they are not vaccinated, the moment they are in the list of vaccination, they must get themselves vaccinated, because there is no guarantee that they will not get infected. And the second thing is that right now also the same directive is true for all, that if you are not required to take the visit out, please stay home. That is important. So as I said, that we have not gone out of, virus has not gone out of our lives. And, state may show, lower positivity rate. But again, we have to go district wise to make, sure that all districts are having no cases since last 14 days, which is not the case, which is still the case that the districts are having, some of the districts are having cases which have occurred within last 2 weeks. So I will just, my basic fundamental thing is that, number one, virus has not gone out of your lives. Number two, mask is a very important social vaccine. Third is that we are in the midst of mutations, and particularly Delta mutation, which has become now Delta plus, and which has got much higher vulnerability and much higher, that means it is much more transmissible and severe also. So it's not only that we are going to infect our families by, our irresponsible behavior, but also, elderly is at home and everybody will become at risk. And we don't want to see the scene of overwhelming healthcare systems. Thank you, and over to you.
All right, ma'am, you made a very important point about COVID-appropriate behavior, about wearing the mask. But Dr. Vig, it's been 1 year since we've been traversing through this uncharted territory. But still, we seem to be missing the point that masks are for our own protection and not for avoiding fines from law enforcement agencies. How do we drive home that point, sir?
Whom we will blame for third wave? as a country or even globally, we have to reflect whom we are going to blame for the third wave. Will it again be, we will be blaming government, again we will be blaming states, again we will be blaming district administrations, or people will blame themselves. So I am not really sure how we are doing it. Is our strategy of unlocking correct? Is our strategy, what strategy we are following? Are we unlocking everything? Are we doing population-based containment? Are we using suppress and lift strategy? What strategy we are using for unlocking? Are we clear about that? So, behavioral change doesn't come in one day. I know I have to wear clean mask. It is not mask. It is clean mask. So how cleanliness or in clean mask we will use, it is individual's responsibility. Government will not be able to provide you masks. You have to use your own clean mask. Maybe you have to change once a day, twice a day, and whenever you go out and whenever you need to go out, only then you should go out. But problem is what strategy we are currently following for unlocking. Are we unlocking everything so that the human catastrophe which we saw in the second wave, will that come back again? Do we know how much health facilities, how much beds we have as in population-based containment? Do we know that? Have we mapped that? Are we following that strategy? Or we are following hotspot strategy of suppress and lift? So this is where we have to understand what strategy we are following for unlocking. This strategy of unlocking is not clear yet, because unless we are clear about our unlocking strategy and then locking again strategy, we can't impose again lockdown all over the country. We have done in the first wave. In the second wave, we have done a localized lockdowns. In first wave, we did the complete lockdown. But after first wave, we gradually opened up. But what happened? And then later on, we completely opened up. It was total opening up. And that led to second wave. And that led to so much of humanitarian crisis. Are we going to do same again? Or we are going to follow hotspot strategy where we are going to test a lot. We will do random testing at multiple places. We will have hotspots which we will not open them. So this strategy has to be again doing everywhere. If we have opened the jar of the lid with the spring we will not be able to suppress. Again, humanitarian crisis will come. And then we will find a person to blame for. Whom we will blame for third wave? No, everybody has to learn lessons. And when will we learn lessons? If you see outside, it's again human behavior. Everybody wants to go out. Everybody wants economy to be revived. But health is most important and patience is most important. Localized suppress and lift strategy has to be done. Localized locking and unlocking has to be done. That is why district administration, rural administration, and tehsil administration, they have to be on their toes. They have to test, they have to quarantine, they have to isolate, and they have to have sufficient health infrastructure to handle it. Otherwise, health infrastructure is going to collapse again. Again, same situation will come back. So I can't stress on this more. It is very painful to see the way we are behaving, and we have to improve our unlocking strategy. And this strategy has to be local. All strategies have to be local now. We have gone beyond centralized approach. It has to be a localized strategy for each village, each tehsil, and each district. And that is where the role of collective wisdom, that is the role of collaboration, that is the role of trust. That is how we will win it. Otherwise, the same situation will come back again.
All right, Dr. Vig, that concern is very evident as you're saying that it is very painful to see how people are behaving. Dr. Garg, how do states recalibrate their strategy, as Dr. Vig is pointing out?
See, what Dr. Vigas pointed out, I'm 100% in agreement with him, because each state is having different rates of positivity, and these positivity rates are varying according to the districts also. To give you an example, Andhra Pradesh still has got 7.1% positivity. Some of the districts have got more than 10% positivity. So you see, when we talk of, or let's take some of the examples of Goa, which has got 13.1% positivity, or let's take example of other states like, Manipur, which has got positivity of about 8.7%. So within that, we have got, even though Delhi may have got, let's say about 4% positivity, but it is important to see that within Delhi also, whether each district, each area is having the same rate of positivity. Let's say agree for a moment that it is okay that they are having about less than 5% positivity. But then again, how we are opening is very, very important. We are seeing huge surge of cases, and Dr. Naveed will agree with me because we have recently come out of this, pandemic, and rather not completely come out of the pandemic. We are still facing the, lot of challenges. How the systems were, rather overwhelmed. We even had a lot of problems with regard to trained manpower, trained facilities, trained, or the drugs, or we were talking about, oxygen and all of that. Healthcare system has seen all of that. And the second wave which came, it came with a full, I'll say that it was a full blow on the system. So that is one thing which is very important, and people have not forgotten that. So I feel that it is very, very important that even, our systems have to behave very, very systems. Means I'm talking about the administrative machinery has to really, take very, very strict and stringent measures. And what Dr. Naveed was, pointing out, there is no disagreement to that we still have to follow the hotspot strategy. That means wherever the number of cases, are coming, still we need to look at that part, because still we have not got zero cases. So that is one thing which is important. And again, like we were taking, some of the states have said that now we will have, opening up till 9 o'clock, the restaurants are opening. And gradually, you see, we will see that, and we found day before also in UP also, some of there were gatherings where, even the swimming pool was used, though it was illegal kind of a use. But you see, who is monitoring that? That's where, strict fines, punishments and all will play a very, very critical role. So administration has to be very strong. The second thing which I will like to say is that from the perspective of rural area, where first of all, the population is not much, well convinced about this pandemic, because for them, fever, cough, cold is something, which is, we have to see that primarily that part is, from the perspective of rural area, we have to see that people are still not very much aware of. So we have to see that, we prepare our rural population as well. We carry out surveillance as well, and we prepare them for the opening up if we are opening them up. Because we have seen last month, 50% of our cases were from rural areas and 53% of our deaths were also from rural areas. These are my comments. And so with this, I think I like to, sum up these comments. I feel we should open up very, very carefully, and we have to behave very responsibly. But then administration has got a critical role to play. Every state, rather every district should decide for itself whether opening up, in what form is going to be right, and what kind of stringent measures are we going to take. When we decided on odd even strategy also, in that also people did not knew that which shops are odd, which are even shops and all that. So that's where comes the role of administration. Thank you so much.
Right, ma'am. So the administration has to be extremely cautious, and all of us also have to be very, very vigilant. But Dr. Vig, as you talked about clean masks, this reminds me that the appropriate use, storage, cleaning or disposal of masks, that is very essential to make them as effective tools. So quick do's and don'ts for our viewers on this.
Do's and don'ts are whenever protect yourself, protect your family, protect your area, protect your environment. Only then you will be able to protect yourself. Until unless I ensure that my parents are vaccinated, until unless I ensure that I will wear double mask. First is my surgical mask, then I can wear cotton mask over that, and I will ensure that everybody is wearing a mask. So mask is main protection, then is the social distancing, then is economy also has to be revived. Economy has to be revived, but the strategy of unlocking and locking has to be clear. It has to change, and vaccination will prevent, and mask will prevent you from getting COVID. And there are no big mantras. Only one mantra is clean mask and vaccination. That's it.
So no big mantras, mask, vaccination and COVID appropriate behavior. But Dr. Garg, as restrictions are eased and children start going out, it is absolutely difficult to ensure that they follow COVID appropriate behavior. How do parents ensure that, ma'am?
See, basically, it's first of all, the families have to follow COVID appropriate behavior themselves. Then we talk of children who are, more than 5 years of age to wear mask and all. Because earlier it was that the children above 3 years can wear mask. But then now it is that, children more than 5 years are more, it is advised that they should wear mask. But also you see, there are a lot of, awareness material which is available for children also. I see that a lot of comics have been brought by PJ Chandigarh, which are meant for awareness of children. Parents have to spend quality time with them. We have to reduce the screen time for them. But we have to teach them how to wash their hands regularly. And also, if there is a case within the family itself, they have to also, the children understand very well. So it is important to look at that part. But then as and when the schools open up, it will be very important for us that to immunize the teachers. And also, it becomes very important from the perspective as vaccines are now, undergoing trials. But I personally feel that if I was to give vaccine to the children, it will be about 12 years of age, because we are facing a lot of childhood obesity and those children are also having comorbidities. So it is important that children learn about, the sanitization part. They learn to maintain the distance, but it is very challenging, let me tell you that.
Yes.
But gradually you see with the constant quality education by the parents and also by the teachers whenever they are, online, that is important. But it is also important that children do learn to reduce the screen time, because also the obesity is, increasing, and then they become more vulnerable to severe form of COVID-19 infections.
All right, Dr. Vik, the challenge of balancing easing of restrictions without inviting more infections, that is one of the biggest concern or one of the biggest challenge that is being faced around the world. In the UK, there are talks of extending restrictions by another 4 weeks, even though a significant part of their population has already been vaccinated. What are the lessons for India, sir?
So that is why I'm saying we can't be having fixed ideas. We have to change our strategies, whether it is daily changing, whether it is weekly changing, or it is monthly basis. Because new things come up, new ideas come up, new situations come up, and then that's how we change our ideas. UK is worried about complete opening. Because Delta variant is there, they want to go slow. That is why they have taken 1 more month, even if they are facing the economic backlash. Because even if economic backlash is there, if numbers are less, then we will be able to recover our economy. Because if number goes out of hand, then we are not able to recover the economy. So that is the basic principle. So all countries are making their own strategies. Even China, numbers are increasing. They are also trying to be strict about it. But our issue is that we have to have hotspot-based strategy. We have to have localized unlocking. We have to have our local health infrastructure in perfect fashion. We have to have our primary health centers, community health centers, and wellness centers. They all have to be linked to the district hospital. And for district hospital, I'm saying we have to know what number of non-COVID ICU beds and COVID ICU beds we have. So 50% of our COVID ICU beds in a district hospital, if they are vacant, only then we can unlock it. Once they are occupied, again, we will have to lock it. So because we can't let people die because of lack of bed, and that too of ICU bed. So test positivity rate of less than 1% in a village and in a district. And once number in test positivity rate increases to more than 5%, we have to lock down. And once our ICU beds in a district they are full. Again, we have to lock down, and we can open only up once our 50% of ICU beds are vacant. So this strategy of opening and locking, unlocking has to be clear. It has to be changing as per the demand, because data is now real time. Numbers come to you real time, and we can take our decision in a real time, in a localized fashion at a local place. But we have to improve our health infrastructure. We have to take all types of measures, whether it is small, medium term, and long term measures. But our medium term measure should be, my district hospital should be a postgraduate institute. We should have postgraduate students working in these district hospitals, so they can link them to community health center and primary health center. This is the only opportunity, and states and center has to be proactive. They have to make districts as postgraduate institutes first. Medical colleges can come later on. First, we have to make them postgraduate institutes, so that quality of care, patient care improves in the district, and patient get treated locally. And then these district hospitals are already linked to your PHC, CHC, and wellness center. This is the only way we can strengthen our health infrastructure. Once our health infrastructure is there, it is much strengthened, then we can, locking, even if in a 75% and 50% will be much easier. So that's what the game is.
All right, sir, but we don't know how the virus is going to behave. We're talking about third wave. We don't even know if we'll have subsequent waves. So how do we avert another wave in India?
Third wave can be avoided if we learn our lessons. Still, you see, in current situation, our unlocking strategy is not perfect. We can again change our strategy, make it better, so that our numbers increase slowly. Because currently we have opened up again. It is almost 100% opening. Once 100% and complete opening is there, wave comes back again. Virus is not dead. Everybody is not vaccinated. Virus is not eradicated. It is still the same virus, which will come back with vengeance. So we have to unlock, but we have to unlock slowly. Instead of 1 week, we should take 2 to 3 weeks to open up slowly, but we can have our own strategies of maybe daily, maybe alternate day, maybe twice a day, one thing opening in the morning, one thing in the opening in the evening. So we have to help everybody, but strategies have to be made very smart, so that we take care of our all sectors, whether it is medium or big sectors, or it is small sectors, whether it is agriculture. Ultimately, our GDP has to improve also, but not at the cost of health. Health is the first thing. That health infrastructure should improve, and it should improve permanently, not for COVID, even for non-COVID, MI, heart attack, stroke, local surgeries. They have to be done at district hospital. Ultimately, aim is to treat everybody, and we treat everybody locally. So we have to have, I am again saying, Swachh Bharat, Swasth Bharat, or Swabhimani Bharat. Swabhimani Bharat means proud Indian. Proud India will only happen if we have clean India and we have healthy India. We can have this only if if we get treated locally. In my local hospital, my local district is the best. Competition should be between the district. I have the lowest positivity rate. I have the minimal COVID, and my treatment in local area is the best. And I am the person who doesn't refer patient to bigger cities. So that should be the competition.
All right, sir, the biggest takeaway is that, as you said, that the virus may come back with vengeance, and we have to fight with vehemence, ensuring that lives and livelihoods are maintained. On that note, thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Baig, and also Dr. Garg. So viewers, that's all we had for you in this edition of India Fights Back. But before that, let me remind you once again to stay safe from the coronavirus pandemic. Remember to wear a face mask and wash your hands and face regularly, and ensure that you maintain physical distancing whenever you're stepping outside. These simple precautions are all it takes to defeat this pandemic. Take very good care, and goodbye.